Welcome back to the Auction Car Reconditioning channel. I'm Brian. We have the Kia Soul here, just about ready to find a new home. And we just have to fix something simple, and that's the fog lights. But to do it, has a lot more work than there should be because Kia. Let's get to work and I'll show you. So just to show you there, they are functional, but they won't stay on by themselves, and this is why. The switch on the stalk is bad, and you have to see that green light right there that's flashing on the dash right next to the battery. If I put pressure on the stalk, it'll stay lit, and the fog lights stay on that way. So the switch is bad, and it's right here. You have to replace the whole stalk because the switch for the fog lights is right here. So we need to pull the airbag, we need to pull the steering wheel, we need to pull the clock switch, we need to pull the turn signal switch itself, which is, you know, this whole big piece here. We have to get these covers off here, and it's a lot more work than it should be just for fog lights. But you need fog lights for inspection, and you know, I want everything functioning if we're going to send it down the road to another buyer anyway. So let's just get it done. Let's get it over with. First things first, we're going to disconnect the battery because I don't feel like having an airbag blow up in my face. That would not be a good day, and that wouldn't be a way to end the day, that's for sure. All right, there we go. Just tuck that over to the side so it doesn't come back over and make contact, and I'm going to lay a rag there just in case it comes dislodged from where I have it tucked in, and then if it bumps against it, it won't make contact with the post. Next step, on either side of the steering wheel, right back here. See these little panels? They have to come off. Just like so. And that will reveal a 22, 25, something like that, Allen key or hex that I'll have to remove on either side. It's actually a T30. And there is one on either side. And this should come right out. Airbag pops right out. You don't want to pull it further than its base because we have some wires that are attached to the airbag that we need to carefully remove. Just tilt this over. Pry these yellow tabs straight up away from the connection. And then from there, they'll pop off of the airbag. and we have a clip right here. And that's all there is to it. So airbag is removed. From here, we have a 20 or 22 mil nut that we have to take off for the steering wheel. That's next. And this notch right here is already lined up with the little indentation in the plastic there, so we're just going to have to make sure that they're as close as we have it pictured here when we go back on. That way the steering wheel will be straight as we tighten it. It is a 22, and you're going to need a little bit of an extension. Right here it is, and behind there is a lock washer that you want to get off and make sure it does not get lost. There we go. Popped it off. The steering wheel came loose at the same time. All right, we have some switches inside here, and that is going to be attached there. We need to unplug those. That's for the cruise control and the radio controls, and then everything. You can see the wires up in here. That's for the radio, cruise control, and all these other buttons. Set that to the side with the airbag. We also want to note where this is, because when you turn the turn signal and you turn the wheel and bring it back, it's going to kick off the turn signal. So that's perfect right there, so we want it down. Now, we have to take off these two screws and I think a couple other ones to get rid of this top and bottom cover. That's the next step. 1, 2, 3. I can feel one down there, and we may find one somewhere else. All right, we have all that out of the way. Now it's time to get this spring switch, pull that back off. The clock spring switch. For that, we have a clip here, a clip here, and a clip up here. So we start with these two down here, and then the one up here. And we're just going to carefully pull it off and let it hang down there. This is the stalk we're after. Finally. This switch came from Apex Auto Parts. Order the best from the best. Kansas City, Missouri. And here it is. The next thing we need to do is take these two screws off right here. These are Phillips heads, top and bottom. We have some plugs behind here that we have to take off. There's one for this stalk, and then for the washer wipers and washers and speeds and all kinds of stuff, that is over here on this side. That has to come off too. And voila. Piece of cake. Now we just kind of flip it over and reverse everything to get everything back on there, and I will do some magical editing for that. Okay, so here we are. Steering wheel straight. Battery hooked back up. Horn works again. As you can see, our fog light is on. Good to go. And the lights are on as well. Job is complete. On, off, on, off. All right, I don't want to break it. It is a used switch, $68, and that's overhead. That has to be, that has to be considered when you're buying something. Now this was cheap. This thing was under $1,000. It was 600 or 700 or 750 or something like that. So that does dig into the profits, but I still think we're going to be able to double or triple our return for this thing once we go to sell it. And it shouldn't take long. I think I have one or two that are ready to take it on. That's going to do it for this video. Piece of cake. Didn't take that long at all, but a little more work than you would think just for fog lights. But they need to work here in Pennsylvania, and especially the shop I take my stuff to. I want them to be picky because some of these go to individuals as I sell them, so I want it to be safe. I also want to show you can do this stuff yourself. You can keep the overhead down on whatever you pick up, either if it's for yourself or if you're flipping cars. You don't want to send these to a backyard garage or a dealership and spend the money on that parts and labor when you could do it yourself. You can order from parts.com. I'll give you a bunch of different sources to order cheap parts from that are quality and work. and do it yourself. Save that labor. I know you could do it. If you ever have any questions, never hesitate. Put it down in the comments section and I will get back to you. This has been Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. We have another one that's ready to go. I'll catch you guys in the next video.